Hi, I'm Andrew Berman from the Mortgage News Network. We're here in San Diego, California at the Mortgage Bankers Association of America's annual convention. Joining with me today is Tim Anderson, who's the Director of eServices over at DocMagic. Tim, thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So listen, I want to kind of continue our conversation. We talked about, TRID. Listen, it's October. This is the month actually where we had TRID shoved down our throats.
Yes.
I'd like to hear what DocMagic has learned in the TRID preparations and where you guys are in terms of TRID and where you feel the industry is.
Sure. Thanks, Andrew. So, the big build-up for TRID, and we're waiting for the apocalypse to happen October 13th. I'm glad they actually extended the date because it gave us time to get integrated all the LOS systems that we needed to be. Yep. And we actually developed a product out of it for the process to be able to exchange not just the documents, but the data to make sure that the fees are correct between the title agent and the lender system of record. Okay. So that then we could actually generate a compliant doc, for both the LE and both the CD.
Oh, wow. Very cool, very cool. So, does this have anything to do with your closing collaborative portal, the Smart Close?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, one of the big issues that we're going to find is making sure those fees are applied to the right buckets on the document. Right. Because one of the requirements they had with was MISMO 33 data spec. Right. So obviously, what do we need to make these documents data-wise? Because eventually they're going to be auditing the data file, not to the loan paper file, to verify compliance. So they're going to go in there and check high cost, good faith, APR, calcs. So they're a version of what we call an intelligent document. So making sure that the lender's system of record and the title system of record in terms of fees is correct to generate a compliant doc is really the key around Smart Close.
Fantastic. So it's up and running. It's everything's successful with it.
Out live in production. We've got hundreds of customers, that are using it. We've got it tied in the title systems to share the information. And what makes it a little bit unique is if a lender makes a change to the data, because it's a process from application all the way up to closing. Yep. Data can change, documents can change as well.
Yes, it does
so
often.
That collaboration's got to be real time. Immediately when the lender makes a change here, it's got to affect the title system. Or the title system changes the fee, it's got to affect the lender system. So it's really a two-way communication. Make sure that all those fees are correct, and if they're not, we'll actually flag and say, hey, either inside or outside the tolerances, or inside or outside the APR. So you might have to redisclose to keep it compliant. So it's just an interactive online environment to keep both systems of the title agent lender in sync to make sure the docs are correct.
So, listen, I got to ask this. I've known you guys have been very, very successful as a doc preparation mortgage technology vendor. There's no question about it. You're one of the best, if not the best out there. It seems you guys are headed more into now end-to-end eServices directions. So tell us a little bit more about this.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, first off, for the DocMagic. Yeah, so, we are changing, and Fannie Freddie have already changed this thing with the Uniform Mortgage Data Program. It's all about the data. Everybody says it's all about the data. But data integrity, data accuracy is where it's being driven. Right. We're going from a data-driven process, from a dumb doc, which is just PDFs, images, to a data-driven process. So we are now looking at all these kind of data services, make sure the data is compliant, make sure they can be shared, make sure it's embedded in the documents. Because now with the CFPB, everybody's on the hook for compliance. And so what they're going to come back and say, hey, I don't care whether you originate it, sold it, or service it. If you own it, we're going to come back and verify compliance with you. That's why it's important it's electronic, because trying to verify it on paper file is the problem we had with the servicing. You're missing signatures, lost notes. Paper file will not document where you have to prove what you said you did when you did it. So this is also forcing where we're going with e-closing and e-mortgages to go totally paperless end to end.
It'll happen. It's
going to have to happen. If you're going to now be on the hook to prove compliance from an origination all the servicing, it's going to have to be electronic.
Yeah. So, towards that end, do you see any specific trends that you can comment, whether for mortgage technology or in the industry overall?
Yeah, so I think the key that's really driving going electronic is this requirement really forced lenders to talk to title agents. It never happened. That's why this is so disruptive. Because the title agent, the lender doesn't drive title, I don't want to talk about the realtor's their customer, which is another party now to this process, right? Yeah. But this delivery rule, this 3-day delivery rule, receipt of delivery is going to drive that, because if I have to do it for one document called the closing disclosure, I might as well do it for all the documents to make sure I'm compliant. So we actually now have title agents now saying, hey, we want e-closing. You know, we want lenders to do e-closing. It's this collaborative environment for all the documents, all the data to have captured in a historical file that you can come back any time and prove what you said you did. So that's, I think, what's really driving it. People are finally connecting all the dots.
Tim, thank you again for sitting with us. Appreciate it. I'm Andrew Berman for the Mortgage News Network. Thank you for watching.
This is Mortgage News Network.